What if I told you that the most destructive force in an empath's life isn't hatred, isn't betrayal, isn't even narcissism, but something far more invisible and far more corrosive? Stay with me, because what Carl Jung discovered about jealous energy will permanently change how you protect yourself. And by the end of this, you'll have the one shield that no amount of envy can ever penetrate. Carl Jung said that jealousy is not a simple emotion. It's a projection of the unlived life. And nowhere does this projection land harder than on the empath. You see, most people think jealousy is about wanting what someone else has. But Jung's research revealed something far deeper and, frankly, far more disturbing. Here's what nobody tells empaths about jealous energy. And trust me, once you understand this, you'll never be caught off guard again. According to Carl Jung, every person carries within their unconscious what he called the shadow, the parts of themselves they refuse to acknowledge. But here's the critical piece most people miss. When someone is jealous of you, they're not really seeing you. They're seeing their own abandoned potential reflected back at them. And that reflection? It fills them with a rage they can't even name. But here's where it gets dangerous for empaths specifically. And this is where Jung's work becomes absolutely essential. Carl Jung discovered that empaths operate with what he called heightened psychic permeability. Their boundaries between self and other are naturally thinner. This is what makes them extraordinary at reading people, at sensing emotional shifts, at understanding what others can't articulate. But this same permeability makes them uniquely vulnerable to one thing. Jealous energy doesn't just bounce off an empath, it seeps in. It disguises itself as self-doubt. It whispers that maybe you're too much, too sensitive, too visible. And the empath, because they feel everything so deeply, begins to believe it. They start shrinking, dimming, apologizing for their own light. And this is exactly what Jung warned about. Listen carefully to what happens next, because this is where everything shifts. According to Carl Jung's theory of psychic contamination, when an empath absorbs jealous energy without recognizing its source, something devastating occurs. They begin to carry someone else's shadow as if it were their own. They feel guilty for their gifts. They feel ashamed of their depth. They feel wrong for simply being who they are. But none of that guilt belongs to them. Jung called this phenomenon participation mystique, the unconscious merging of one person's psyche with another's. And for empaths, it happens almost automatically. But here's the part that will absolutely change your life. Because Jung didn't just identify the problem, he discovered the solution. And it's not what you think. Carl Jung said that the first step to psychological immunity is what he called conscious differentiation, the ability to distinguish between what is yours and what has been projected onto you. Most people never develop this skill. They walk through life absorbing everyone else's emotional debris without ever questioning its origin. But the empath who masters conscious differentiation, they become something Jung described as psychologically sovereign. And this sovereignty is the foundation of the lifetime shield. Here's how it works, and why jealous people will never understand it. According to Carl Jung, jealousy operates in darkness. It requires the target to remain unconscious, to not see what's happening, to internalize the projection without questioning it. But the moment an empath becomes aware, truly aware of the mechanism at play, the entire dynamic collapses. Jung called this the withdrawal of projection. When you stop accepting someone else's shadow as your own truth, their jealousy loses its landing strip. It has nowhere to attach. It boomerangs back to its source. And here's what's absolutely fascinating about what happens next. Carl Jung discovered that when jealous energy is returned to its sender, not through retaliation but through simple non-absorption, it forces the jealous person into a crisis. They can no longer use you as a container for their unresolved pain. They're suddenly face to face with their own shadow, their own unlived potential, their own choices, and most of them cannot handle that confrontation. But the shield goes deeper than simply not absorbing. Jung identified something he called active imagination, And this is where the empath gains an unbreakable advantage. According to Carl Jung, active imagination is the practice of consciously engaging with the contents of your unconscious. For the empath building their lifetime shield, this means something extraordinary. Instead of passively receiving jealous energy and being damaged by it, the shielded empath learns to observe it, name it, and release it. They don't fight it. They don't suppress it. They don't even resent it. They witness it with what Jung called non-reactive awareness. They see the jealousy for exactly what it is, someone else's wound being projected outward, and they choose not to carry it. This isn't indifference, it's what Jung called conscious compassion. They can feel empathy for the jealous person's pain without absorbing that pain as their own. And this distinction, this single distinction, is what separates the wounded empath from the sovereign one. But here's the final piece of the shield, and it's the most powerful element of all. Carl Jung said that the ultimate protection isn't a wall, it's wholeness. He called it individuation, the process of becoming so completely yourself that external projections simply cannot find a crack to enter. The individuated empath doesn't need to hide from jealous energy. They don't need to avoid jealous people. They don't need to shrink or dim or apologize. They simply exist in their fullness. And that fullness, that completeness, acts as an impenetrable field, not because it's aggressive, but because it's authentic. Jung discovered that jealousy can only wound those who secretly doubt their own worth. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you fully inhabit your own depth and sensitivity and power, jealous energy becomes meaningless noise. It washes over you like rain on stone, present but powerless. And here's what makes this shield last a lifetime. Unlike walls which isolate you, unlike avoidance which limits you, unlike suppression which exhausts you, the shield of individuation grows stronger with every encounter. Each time you recognize a projection and choose not to absorb it, the shield deepens. Each time you witness jealous energy without personalizing it, the shield expands. Each time you refuse to shrink in the presence of someone else's envy, the shield becomes more permanent. Carl Jung said that the most powerful individuals are not those who never encounter darkness, but those who have learned to carry their own light through it. The shielded empath embodies this perfectly. They don't avoid jealous energy. They transcend it. They don't fight the projection. They outgrow the need to receive it. They become what Jung called psychologically complete, someone who no longer needs external approval to know their own value. Someone whose sense of self is built from within rather than borrowed from without. And that, according to Carl Jung's lifetime of research, is the one shield that jealous energy can never penetrate. Not armor, not avoidance, not retaliation, but the simple, radical, unstoppable act of becoming entirely, unapologetically, irreversibly yourself. Thank you so much for staying with me through this exploration. If this resonated with something deep within you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today.